Reparations for slavery is the application of the concept of reparations to victims of slavery and/or their descendants. There are concepts for reparations in legal philosophy and reparations in transitional justice. Throughout history, reparations for slavery have been both given by legal ruling in court and/or given voluntarily by individuals and institutions. Reparations can take numerous forms, including individual monetary payments, settlements, scholarships, waiving of fees, and systemic initiatives to offset injustices. Land-based compensation related to independence, apologies and acknowledgements of the injustices. Token measures, such as naming a building after someone, or the removal of monuments and renaming of streets that honor slave owners and defenders of slavery. There are instances of reparations for slavery relating to the Atlantic slave trade, dating back to at least 1783 in North America, with a growing list of modern-day examples of reparations for slavery in the United States in 2020. As the call for reparations in the U.S. has been bolstered by protests around police brutality and other cases of systemic racism in the U.S. Recently in the U.S., the call for reparations for racism has been made alongside calls for reparations for slavery. Despite many calls for reparations, examples of international reparations for slavery consist of recognition of the injustice of slavery and apologies for involvement but no material compensation. Slavery ended in the United States in 1865 with the end of the American Civil War and the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which declared that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. At that time, an estimated 4 million African Americans were set free. Within the political sphere, a bill demanding slavery reparations has been proposed at the national level. The Commission to Study Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act, which former Rep. John Conyers Jr. reintroduced to the United States Congress every year from 1989 until his resignation in 2017. As its name suggests, the bill recommended the creation of a commission to study the impact of slavery on the social, political and economic life of our nation. However, there are cities and institutions which have initiated their own reparations in the U.S. In 1999, African-American lawyer and activist Randall Robinson, founder of the Trans-Africa Advocacy Organization, wrote that America's history of race riots, lynching, and institutional discrimination have resulted in $1.4 trillion in losses for African Americans. Economist Robert Brown stated the ultimate goal of reparations should be to restore the black community to the economic position it would have if it had not been subjected to slavery and discrimination. He estimates a fair reparation value anywhere between $1.40 to $4.7 trillion, or roughly $142,000 for every black American living today. Other estimates range from $5.70 to $14.20 and $17.1 trillion. In 2014, American journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates published an article titled, "The Case for Reparations," which discussed the continued effects of slavery and Jim Crow laws and made renewed demands for reparations. Coates makes reference to Rep. John Conyers Jr.'s aforementioned H.R. 40 bill, pointing out that Congress's failure to pass this bill expresses a lack of willingness to right their past wrongs. In September 2016, the United Nations Working Group of Experts on People of African Descent encouraged Congress to pass the aforementioned H.R. 40 bill to study reparations proposals. But the working group did not directly endorse any specific reparations proposal. The report noted that there exists a legacy of racial inequality in the United States, explaining that, despite substantial changes since the end of the enforcement of Jim Crow and the fight for civil rights, ideology ensuring the domination of one group over another continues to negatively impact the civil, political, economic, social and cultural rights of African Americans today. The report notes that a dangerous ideology of white supremacy inhibits social cohesion among the U.S. population. The topic of reparations gained renewed attention in 2020 as the Black Lives Matter movement named reparations as one of their policy goals in the United States. In 2020, rapper T.I. supported reparations that would give every African American $1 million and asserted that slavery caused mass incarcerations, poverty and other ills. Andrew Yang said that he supports H.R. 40, the Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act, sponsored by Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee. While speaking on The Karen Hunter Show in January 2019, Marianne Williamson detailed a plan for reparations in an interview for Ebony magazine.